I'm Jenny Garth, and as a mother of 3, I know kids worry about a lot of things. Getting enough food to eat shouldn't be one of them. But here in America, that is a real worry for 1 in 5 children. This is unacceptable, and something Feeding America is working to solve. Through a nationwide network of food banks, Feeding America serves virtually every community in the United States, including yours. See how you can help your community. Visit feedingamerica.org. Together, we can solve hunger. Together, we're Feeding America.
Drage Slovenke, dragi Slovenci, dragi prijatelji Slovenije. Pred nekaj tednov smo praznovali 26. obletnico samostojnosti Republike Slovenije. In se še enkrat iz vsega srca zahvaljujem vsem ameriškim Slovencem, ki ste z vašimi aktivnostmi in držo veliko pripomogli k temu pomembnemu cilju. Today, we are celebrating the 26th anniversary of Slovenia's independence. In 1991, we used our window of opportunity and we were successful. We Slovenians living within and outside Slovenia knew precisely what we wanted back then. The stakes were high, but so was our morale. The story of Slovenia's success is our story. In the first 26 years of its statehood, Slovenia has come a long way. United and resolute, we stood against the odds of destiny. We declared independence and were immediately called to defend it. We wanted international recognition, but it took a lot of knocking to open all the doors. All along, we have staunch allies within the Slovenian community and friends of Slovenia here in Cleveland and also in other parts of the United States. You were tireless spokesmen for the Slovenian cause, and we want to express our sincerest gratitude for all your support in that critical period of our history. It will never be forgotten. And on this vein, I would like also especially remember late Senator George Vojnović, as we were extremely blessed to have him at last year's celebration. Last but not least, I would like to finish with that we Slovenians, we must never forget that Slovenia is a young country, but we are also an old Central European nation. As we all know, the first Slovenians settled in the city of Cleveland more than 130 years ago and established their homes here. Their contributions have been an important part of the history of this city and beyond. Dear Mayor Jackson, I would like to express my personal as well as that of the Republic of Slovenia's sincere appreciation for your work and the relationship that you had and have maintained with the Slovenian community. Mayor Jackson, the floor is yours. Thank you.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Thank you. Thank you. You know, I want to welcome everyone to the Rotunda at City Hall as we celebrate the 26th annual Independence Day for Slovenia. I know that several years back, myself, Councilman Polinsek, Councilman Simperman, and the Council General then, he took us to Slovenia and we visited Slovenia, and I will say we had a great time. Some of the most friendliest people and some of the prettiest land that I've visited anywhere. And the one thing I noticed is that everything's on a hill. And so Slovenians are in good shape because they walk up hills. But I want to tell you how much I appreciate the Slovenian community as we learned when we were there. everyone knew something about Cleveland, Ohio. Everybody knew something about Cleveland, Ohio. And as you look at the Slovenian community in Cleveland, in the greater Cleveland area, we would not be who we are as a city today if we're not for your community and the commitment and the dedication and the service that you provided to this community. So again, welcome to the Rotunda City Hall. Happy 26th anniversary, and thank you for being who you are. I have a proclamation, and it's a proclamation that really is in recognition of Slovenian Statehood Day in the city of Cleveland. Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor. Thank you very much. And now I would like to ask Senator Yuko for the remarks. Thank you.
Thank you. And good evening, everybody. You know, it does take a hardy Slovenian to come out in a weather like this, doesn't it? I'll tell you. But what does this mean? This is independence of Slovenia, celebrated at the same time we're celebrating our own independence here in the United States of America. And when we reflect on what we learned over the years, you know, I think back on my days when I was growing up in Euclid in the early 1950s. My dad just returned from World War II. My uncles fighting a valiant war to ensure that we did have an Independence Day that we can continually reflect on, and thank God that they did. And what it means to the people. You know, it means so much that we were able to fly the American flag when they came back from World War II, that we can continue to hear chorus groups who provide us with tremendous Slovenian culture with the songs that they were able to sing. Would we have a Polka Hall of Fame if it wasn't for Independence Days like we celebrate in both Slovenia and the United States? August Pust, you know, your history and everything that you've seen and witnessed. Councilman John Plechnik, would we be serving Slovenian kielbasi and apple strudel and listen to polka music at your fundraisers if it wasn't for Independence Day stuff like this? Judge Ron Suster, you know, you've been around long enough to know that, you know what this means and what this has provided for us as Slovenians has got a lot of us elected because of Slovenians helping one another time and time and time again. And where's my friend Tony Pekosik? I know Tony was here a minute ago, and there he is over there. We talk about the relationship between Cleveland, Ohio, and Slovenia, and I know Tony took my dad, my grandparents back. I think my mom even went one time with you, Tony, and the memories it creates, and the legends it creates, and that's what it's all about. So today's our day to really embellish and appreciate the relationship between the two countries, the relationship between the two different personalities that are involved, because today, whether you're from Slovenia or whether you're from the United States, one thing we all have in common, we're all Slovenian and doggone proud of it. Councilor John, if I may present something to you from the Ohio Senate. I'm not going to read the whole thing, but it's in recognition of our 26th anniversary of the Slovenian independence. I'm proud to be a Slovenian. I'm proud to be here once again today, paying recognition to a proud culture that I'm so happy to be a part of. Growing up listening to polka music, polka varieties, and everything else is just, it's become a way of life for me, so this celebration just seems to be secondhand. So continued success. Thank you for all that you do, and I'll present this to you. Thank you.
Thank you, Senator Yuko. And now I would like to ask Councilman Polešek.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Good evening. Good evening. Honorable Mayor Jackson, Council General, my dear friend Kenny Yuko, former officials, Judge Ron Suster, Councilman Plechnik, and others I'm sure that will be arriving tonight once the weather breaks a little bit. Welcome to my home for 11 consecutive terms right here at Cleveland City Hall. I want to thank the mayor first for his ongoing support for this annual event. You know, we're not the only nationality that utilizes and has the opportunity to utilize the rotunda here. Many other ethnic groups utilize this very wonderful space to have their annual recognition of their Independence Days or their special holidays. And that had not always been the case here at City Hall. It started under Senator, then Mayor Voinovich, and has continued under Mayor Jackson. So I want to say on behalf of the Slovenian community, thank you very much for supporting this annual event. I also want to take this opportunity because the Council General indicated it, because I have pictures in my office. This was the last public forum that our dear friend Senator Voinovich attended. The very last one he attended a year ago. Think about that. Think about the loss. What a great man, and what he meant to our Slovenian community, to the greater Collinwood, St. Clair Superior neighborhoods, and beyond. So again, please remember him and Janet and all of their friends and family in your prayers. 26 years, I remember the first one. I remember the first anniversary. I remember the fact that my neighbor, Lojza Bites, was in Ljubljana at the time that the fighting broke out. I always remember that. I'll never forget that day that his wife, Maria, ran over to my house because she lives 2 doors away from me, to say she didn't know what to do because Lojza was in Ljubljana and they were being bombed. And I said, Maria, there's nothing you can do. Only thing we can do is pray. Pray that our Slovenian brothers and sisters will stay stoic and that we will win the day. And we did win the day. Our people rose to the occasion. They resisted the oppression, and Slovenia is free. And the mayor and I and others saw that when we were there on a business trip several years ago. We saw the progress. We saw everything else that had taken place there. And I was reminded this week by a friend who said to me, little quiz he posed to me. He said, guess what country is the best place to raise children in the world? And I was like, America? No. England? No. France? No. Germany? No. Guess what, Mike? Slovenia. Slovenia, the #1 country in the world to raise children. Think about that. How far Slovenia has come in just 26 years. Just 26 years of statehood, of nationhood. So I'm here on behalf of my colleagues. I'm here on behalf of the Slovenian residents of the city of Cleveland. And there are many, many people who have Slovenian roots and bloodlines in our community that have never gone anywhere, who believe in Cleveland, who've never stopped believing in Cleveland. I ask you all tonight, never stop believing in our city, whether you live here or not. And I appreciate those of you who come back to support our city. And I also ask you to remember on this anniversary tonight, the people who are no longer with us. I'm looking at some of these chairs, empty chairs, and I'm thinking of the folks that helped make statehood and help build this great nation who are no longer with us. Please remember them in your prayers. God bless Slovenia. God bless the people of Cleveland. I'm so glad and honored to be here with you tonight. God bless all of you. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilman Poleshek, for these words. The first recognition goes to the Federation of Lodges of SMPJ, marking the 90th year of their activities.
One more? I'm Joe Valencic. I'm president of the Cleveland Federation of Lodges of the Slovene National Benefit Society, known as SMPJ, Slovenska Narodna Podporna Jednota. We are, SMPJ, as we like to call it, is the United States' largest Slovenian American organization. Here in the greater Cleveland area, we have about 8,000 members, and I believe around 23 lodges and affiliates. Many of you know our SMPJ farm out in Kirtland, but the Federation brings all those activities together. Cleveland was a sanctuary and a place of opportunity for Slovenians since the 1880s. And shortly after that, Slovenians created their fraternal lodges and societies to bridge the gap between the old country and becoming solid Americans. And here in the Cleveland area, our fraternal societies have really done a lot to keep not only the cultural identity going on, but to return back to our communities and to the city that welcomed us and offered us so many opportunities. So we're still going strong. Our federation will be celebrating our 90th anniversary at our SMPJ farm in Kirtland day after tomorrow on Sunday the 2nd of July. You can come to SMPJ farm every summer Sunday for a good time. But thank you. We have always been engaged with Slovenia since the beginning, and also whenever Slovenia needed assistance from us in the U.S. after World War I, after World War II, and certainly in 1991 and 92, we were there with our assistance in getting recognition 26 years ago for Slovenia's independence. But thank you for our 90th anniversary tribute, and we hope to continue for at least another 90 years.
Thank you, Joe. Stay with us because we have one more. The next recognition, in Cleveland we have not just the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, but also the Polka Hall of Fame. And the Polka Hall of Fame is celebrating the 30th anniversary, and I would like to present this recognition also for that.
I'm also president of the National Cleveland Style Polka Hall of Fame and Museum, as it turns out. Sorry to hog the podium. It's always delighted me that the Slovenian gift to American popular culture has been our happy music. Certainly we know Frankie Yankovic, America's Polka King, and that music evolved right here in the city of Cleveland over 100 years ago when Slovenian immigrants brought their particular style of happy music here and brought in influences from jazz, from country music, from Broadway show tunes, and created a whole new sound that really enraptured America after World War II. The Cleveland style polka we felt was just as important to the city as rock and roll, and so that's why we started this museum 30 years ago. Polka music has also, I think, done a lot for the city of Cleveland. Back in 1963, a young disc jockey named Tony Petkosik started a polka festival here in Cleveland, and I'm happy to say that now in 2017, we're still going strong, and in fact, every Thanksgiving weekend we do a 3-day polka festival at the downtown Marriott Hotel. Tony brought it there 25 years ago, so we'll be celebrating our 25th anniversary at the Marriott with 3 days of fun. And I found out a year or so ago that our event brings about $500,000 of revenue to the city of Cleveland, because we bring in as many as 6 or 7 buses from out of town, and then all our dancers for 3 days of excitement. But we're proud that our style of music has been here in Cleveland for more than a century, and come visit us at our museum in Euclid, and do come to our Thanksgiving Polka weekend at the Marriott.
Well, the next recognition goes to Primorski Klub. Primorska is the region of Slovenia that is close to Italy, the coastal part. And for this recognition is for their 40th anniversary.
I will have just a few words. Everybody's invited tomorrow. We celebrate 40th anniversary. It's Slovenska Pristava. So on behalf of Slovenska Pristava, I'm saying thank you for this. And everybody's up preparing today. And I'm here doing this. So everybody welcome tomorrow for some vampe and gulash. Thank you.
Well, we heard the word Slovenska Pristava, and the next recognition is to the Klub Upokojencev Slovenska Pristava. There's the Pensioners Club of Slovenska Pristava for their 20th anniversary. 30th, sorry.
I'd like to thank the club, Pensioners Club of Slovenska Pristava, for such a good job, always working in Pristava to preserve our culture and the future of Pristava. Thank you very much.
Well, the next recognition goes to Tony Olsenik for his 20 years of broadcasting and weekly programs of Slovenska Ura, Slovenian Hour. Well, last but not least, the next recognition, or the last one, goes to the chorus Fanti Navasi for their 40 years of group singing. We are proud that today we have the pleasure to enjoy their presence and interpretations. Well, and now I would like to ask you to please give a warm welcome to the chorus Fanti Navasi. They have prepared a short concert for our enjoyment, marking their 40th anniversary of this establishment. And Fanti Navasi, under the direction of their dedicated director, Janez or John Sershen.
Domovina Sem się mi,